And now it is my pleasure to introduce and obviously honor Dr. Mohamed El-Erian. For those of you who don't know, he is the CEO of PIMCO and one of the brightest minds out there when it comes to discussing what's really happening in finance and the economy. PIMCO is a global investment management firm with about $1 trillion under management. Yeah, $1 trillion. There was a day we didn't have that number. $1 trillion. Whew. His book, When Markets Collide, I highly recommend, was a New York Times and Wall Street Journal bestseller. He was named to Foreign Policy's list of top 100 global thinkers in 2009 and 2010. I'll nominate you for 2011 and 2012 and 2013. I mean, it should keep going. He has also served on several boards and committees, including the International Center for Research on Women, the Peterson Institute for International Economics, and the IMF's Committee of Eminent Persons. He is currently a board member of the Carnegie Endowment for Peace and Cambridge in America. You may remember in 2009 when Dr. El-Erian coined the term the new normal. What is the new normal? Well, it describes how getting out of the financial crisis wasn't going to be normal at all. It wasn't going to follow that normal cyclical pattern. It was rather going to be, quote, growth would be subdued for a while and unemployment high. Guess what? We're still there. Tonight, we honor Dr. El-Erian for his astute business acumen, along with his contributions to our understanding of financial markets and for being a great guest on television. Dr. El-Erian, please come to the stage.
Good evening. Thank you very much for that very kind introduction. And Louise, thank you very much for everything that you do. You and your colleagues at the foundation are really an inspiration for the rest of us. I am incredibly honored and humbled to be up here. I don't quite think I should be up here, so I'm going to spend a few minutes that I have with you explaining why I don't deserve to be up here, and the only reason why I'm up here is because of others. When you think of what I'm being honored for, let me tell you the refrain that I was told over and over again growing up. I was told, Mohamed, quote, you are boring and unimaginative. Over and over again, you're boring and unimaginative. And I was. I absolutely was. And yet, someone believes that I should be honored for innovation and for leadership. So what happened? What happened is that I have been incredibly privileged in my life to be influenced by people, by ideas, by institutions who have encouraged me to try and look not just around the next corner, but the corner after that. And to do so by using a lot of what the foundation values: multidisciplinary, multicultural approaches, and understanding that there are many ways of asking the same questions and getting to the right solutions, not just solution. I cannot tell you how important it is that we think about this today. I'm a parent of a 9-year-old, and I'm traumatized by the fact that for the first time in a very long time, our children's generation may be worse off than their parents' generation. Because of lack of vision, lack of leadership, we are passing down to our children a very complex world that's not growing enough, that's not meeting its opportunities enough, and that is way over-indebted. This is why I spend time going to high schools to talk to high schoolers and tell them, you control your destiny. This doesn't have to be like that. It will be like that if you don't do something about it, but it need not be like that. And I find myself emphasizing a lot of the qualities that Louise and the foundation stress multidisciplinary, multicultural vision, values. So why am I up here? If I were to summarize it, it's because of two people and two institutions. And I must tell you, I'm incredibly lucky because I'm up here with the support of my colleagues from PIMCO who are here. And thank you, because you give me a lot of courage to be up here. My father was born in a poor Egyptian village. Education was his ticket. He ended up doing a PhD at Columbia here on a state scholarship. And he had a career in academia and in the public service. And for him, providing education was the most important thing that he did for his children. But not just any education. I was telling Louise at dinner, we grew up, he was stationed in Paris, and we grew up, and I remember one day asking him, Dad, why do we need to get 4 newspapers every day? And why do you expect me to read 4 newspapers every day? They're all the same. Once we read one, you don't need the other 3, and why don't we spend our money on something else? And he said, you don't understand. These 4 newspapers reflect the whole political spectrum, from left to right. And unless you understand that there are different ways of interpreting things, you'll never be able to think ahead. So my father had a huge influence in terms of getting me out of my boring and unimaginative mode, as did the university I went to. Back in the 70s, when you did economics at Cambridge University, you studied 4 different schools of thoughts, 4 distinct schools of thoughts. And again, it was to realize that there are different ways of thinking of problems and to combine disciplines differently. I was lucky to end up in a place where I am today that does that every single day. At PIMCO, we greatly value different disciplines and we greatly value different people. And we're able to bring it together under this culture that I would recommend to you. It sounds awful, but it's actually very good in terms of innovation. A culture of constructive paranoia. Be paranoid about the world, but constructively, so that you keep on moving forward. It is because of these people, it is because of these institutions, it's because of these ideas that I'm up here tonight. And I would like to thank Louise, the foundation, and everybody for recognizing that I am one of the most privileged people on this world to have been exposed to such wonderful people and institutions. Thank you very much.